Welcome to another episode of the Gypsypotamus Experience podcast. On today's episode, I'll be joined by my buddy today. We'll be talking about some interesting stuff. So, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy. Oh shit. We're back at it with the tips of our faces just on the sidelines here. Let's hear you, Teddy.
Hello.
And, okay, you're pretty good. I'll just go as we fix it as we go.
Sorry, I need to sneeze.
Oh, don't do
Oh,
that.
now that I said that, I just
shit.
jinxed it. Now it's stuck in there.
Stupid.
It'll come out at some point.
Yeah, dude, don't you hate those sneezes?
Yeah,
They
they just get stuck.
sneak under your skin after a little bit. Because they don't want that.
Yeah, they don't. It's just...
It's like a fart. They just suppress and it goes away for a little while and then it just surprise the shit out of you later. Literally.
In that realm, I try and be a little bit more prepared. You gotta plan.
Well, yeah,
Plan
you
it out when
definitely
you can.
definitely need to have a spare set of underwear at that point as well.
Maybe you do. Don't speak for all of us.
Oh, dude, I speak for everyone
I use the appropriate amount
that
of
is
underwear.
like me.
I pretty much go a pair a day, and then I wash them all.
Yeah. That's good. I mean,
You gotta have good
You don't-
hygiene.
yeah, dude, you
Hygiene's
don't
very important.
you don't want to be putting on some musky underwear the next day,
I don't do that. That's
right? Or after a
you don't-
shower.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
Always be prepared. Underwear
Yeah,
rolls
dude.
up super small too. You can easily carry it on your person wherever you're at.
Yeah. This brings us to our first sponsor. Not something that we're actually sponsored by. MeUndies.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
did you try them out?
I did actually. I ordered a pair because that stuff is all over the podcast world these days, and that I'm not gonna
Pretty
lie,
highly
it's-
commercialized.
Yeah, definitely. Very much advertised by a lot of podcasts.
How much more luxury can you actually have in a pair of underwear?
Dude, I
I
don't know.
feel like my underwear.
But I feel like you
is-
pitch a hammock, not like a banana hammock or anything. That'd be kind of weird. But like a regular hammock for your junk and yourself.
So you're saying it's supportive?
Very.
It
And
adds.
just comfortable. Like it literally feels like sitting in a hammock. Like it feels like it's lifting you up off the
Okay.
ground.
See, I
elevating you, if you
wear
will.
boxer briefs right now, and they do that.
Yeah,
For me, it's all about the material. If the actual feel
that's true.
is good.
Boxer briefs themselves just have that extra support down below.
Okay. Sometimes I like a little more
Compared
room,
to boxers anyway,
though. Right.
because boxers
I
are
was gonna
pretty
say,
a lot more free form.
Yeah. Sometimes I like that.
Yeah,
It's the freedom to move around.
right. That's pretty nice occasionally. Yeah, dude. Gotta fucking wash your underwear every once in a while.
Agreed.
So speaking of which, I still need to do laundry because I actually just came back from a camping trip not too long ago.
I've heard about this this new type of clothing. It's made from merino wool, and it's made specifically for camping. It's they have shirts and they have socks and they have underwear, and this material allows you to go days and days without washing it.
Wow.
You can use the same pair of clothes all week.
Just doesn't stink or
It doesn't stink.
just
Nothing.
absorbs everything.
No, nothing sticks to it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it wicks the moisture, but it keeps the odor away.
Interesting. Are you crying over there, dude?
I don't know. I've had some allergies yesterday and today
Oh, okay.
because I was in nature too recently. Just a lot of elements.
Right.
I feel like us as humans, we've gotten to this point where we're inside for so long that the moment you go outside, you get attacked. We need more nature in our lives to stay immune to the elements.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it rained a few days of my camping trip alone, and it was pretty brutal. Just being out in the rain, kind of the only way to really get out of the rain while you're on the campsite and stuff is like either under a canopy or like in your tent. But then you're just like boxed away in there. Like sure you can just kind of like wait out the time, but I don't know. Like it is totally different than having a house. And
are you comparing a tent to a house right now?
yeah, absolutely. Because you were talking about how like people are just so way too comfortable in everyday life that like they need to face the elements more and also just nature.
Right. When I'm camping, I spend the least amount of time in my tent.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just there just to sleep in for
Right. Exactly.
8 to 12 to 13 hours.
Yeah. Definitely. You really sleep that much?
I don't sleep much on camping trips. I'm usually up and about.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, like, I'll fall asleep in a hammock, but I like
Dude.
more action-filled stuff.
Hammocks are pretty badass. No wonder they have so much hype at the moment.
I mean, if you have trees around,
Right.
it's good.
Absolutely. Gotta throw up a hammock.
I really like my air lounge. I can put it anywhere.
Those are pretty
I
sweet.
tested it out on the lake. This
Yeah, how was
weekend.
that?
It was good. I mean, just it works as well as any other inflatable raft.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nice. Did you...
I was surprised at how stable I was. I didn't feel like I was gonna roll over.
Okay. Is yours like a donut, or like is it
No,
have a
it's,
hole in the middle, or is it like
it's-
cloth still?
There's
fabric.
there's a lining in the middle.
Okay. So you're never touching the water really?
Right.
Gotcha.
If you like curl up and your butt goes down, you can get wet through like the fabric.
Oh, okay.
But that's only if like you're curling up. If you lay straight, you're fine.
Gotcha.
I had to grab onto the boat we had though because the current almost took me away.
Damn. That's pretty crazy. Did you have an oar or anything like that to help you out in an emergency situation?
No, but we had one of those what are they called? Lifesavers.
Like life preservers?
No, like the big white circle that floats.
Oh, okay.
You grab onto the ring.
The ones that are usually on boats and the side of like lakes and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Aren't those just like shitty like foam though? Like I'm sure it would be just as buoyant as anything, but aren't those just like really hard foam, like painted over?
Yeah, that's all you need.
Nice.
You want it to be lightweight.
Yeah. Right.
As long as
definitely.
it gets the rope to the person. That's what it's meant for.
Yeah. As you like pick it up and it's like
Well, and it's
this
easy
one
to like put your
has
arm
been
through.
switched out with a
for them
lead
to carry
one.
you in.
Right. Yeah.
A lead one?
Yeah.
What?
Like if you happen to choose the wrong one to like save someone's life with, they happen to be made of lead, and you pick it up, but you're so strong that you didn't even notice that it was made of lead. You gotta be really fucking strong to do that. You just toss it at the person, they just like caught it with their head.
Lead is more dense than the foam
Right.
that they usually use in
So
those.
just make them sink. Pretty sad. Yeah, no, that's pretty fucking fun to ride behind like a boat.
We were
Not
almost
like a
gonna
whole
go wakeboarding,
Yeah.
but it was cold and
Well,
you kind of need a fast boat.
we're on Lake Michigan.
No, this is like Merrimack.
Oh, okay. Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is a big lake. There's definitely enough area for it, but you need a nice boat with a high pull line.
Okay. I mean, is that what? Like, I can only imagine that's what you were doing while you were on the boat, or like getting towed.
Yeah.
Were you like just holding a tow rope on your little
I've never
air lounge while you were out there?
Yeah. Just sailing.
So you're like
across.
basically like tubing just on an air lounge.
Yeah.
Nice.
You hit the wakes and you just get some air.
Did you ever fly off of it?
No.
Nice. Because I know
I
they
stayed
don't
dry.
really have a
I stayed
handles or
dry the whole
anything.
time. You're right, they don't.
Yeah.
You just gotta use your own arms to balance.
Nice. Yeah, man. Those things are pretty badass. Those just got super, like popular out of nowhere too. Just like now, hammocks are coming back in style and stuff.
I don't think they've ever left style.
I don't know. Maybe I've just grown into knowing that they're awesome.
You just discovered hammocks.
Yeah,
Okay.
apparently. Yeah, they're pretty great. Not gonna lie.
My parents always had a backyard hammock set up.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive either. I got my dad one for, I think it was like $120.
Okay.
Comes
Is
with the
that-
frame and the bed and
Really?
the chains.
And like the wood splayed like
Mhm.
hammock area.
This one came with a pillow too. You like strap onto it.
Wow, it's relatively cheap then.
The hanging ones are nice too.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah.
And
Those are pretty compact. You can take other places.
yeah, it definitely helps to have what they call tree straps. It just all the loops are so convenient to use. Otherwise you have like, the ropes that usually come with the hammock. At least the one that I've purchased. And yeah, you just have to like tie your own knots at the end of the, to strap onto the tree or something like that. Those straps are totally worth it.
Yeah, you gotta have them.
Right. So I'm not gonna lie, I feel like every time I go camping, I become like an alcoholic. Like
Yeah.
I'm just temporarily an alcoholic while camping.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I'll drink on a camping trip. The less physical activity I have, the more I'll drink. Like the more downtime I have,
Mm-hmm.
I try and pack camping trip full of stuff to do, lawn games, group activities,
Nice.
And it's fun when you can mix it in with being social with people,
Right.
any type of drinking game. You ever play beer darts?
No, are they like lawn darts?
No. So you get a metal tip dart, like what
Okay.
you would throw at a dartboard.
Mm-hmm.
Get 5 of them, or however many there are people. And what you do is you have a can of beer and you stand in kind of like a pentagram shape.
Okay.
I'm just using 5 as an example. You can use as many people as you want. At least like 6 feet from each other,
Mm-hmm.
and you take turns throwing your dart at someone else's can. And
Okay.
you can't hit the people next to you, only the people across from you. And when someone hits your can, you have to pick it up right away, crack it open, and then drink to the point at which the dart hit it.
Wow.
So if you hit like the bottom of someone's can of beer, they have to drink the whole thing.
Yeah. Sounds pretty intense.
It's fun when everyone's wearing sandals.
Right. That's pretty bad. Why were you the one wearing sandals in this situation?
I've worn sandals before, but no, I haven't had, you watch people. So,
Okay.
like whoever, you throw one at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see if they're gonna hit you or not.
Yeah.
Most people are pretty accurate until they get drunk enough.
Right. They're just like throwing it at people. Like, oh, sorry. Thought there was a can somewhere in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I would totally do that. So, I just also bought a small axe to like start actually chopping down, or at least chopping up some firewood and whatnot. Very convenient tool to have. Just to, if there's other like wood around there, like trees fallen, like you could just chop them up.
Mm-hmm.
You're just getting rid of debris at that point.
If you needed it for home defense, that'd be a
That
good
as
use.
well, yeah. In a regular house,
Right.
not a tent house.
I've seen yours. It's pretty light, so it'd be easy to throw.
Oh, totally. I would. Speaking of which, that'd be pretty badass to.
Yeah, even if
do.
it doesn't hit the perpetrator,
Mm-hmm.
be pretty scary to have an axe thrown at you.
Right. Speaking of which, I don't know if you've ever heard of this like brand new sport, but it's basically just like axe throwing, and they just started like opening places up around like the cities and stuff. I think there might be one in New York. I don't think there was one in Chicago or maybe LA. Who knows? But or maybe it was San Fran rather. Regardless, this place basically just like it's like the equivalent of an archery range, but for axe throwing. And they just like annihilate the shit out of these wood blocks.
I feel like that should be a freedom you should be able to have in your own backyard.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to pay to go there?
Like, yeah, I mean, definitely. It's like, yeah.
Can you bring your own, though?
Oh, I'm sure you can. There's like people with like, like all sorts of axes and stuff there.
Right. I would just make my own.
But who knows? I'm sure they have to be approved to some extent. As like any regulated area, like place would be.
Now you said it's a sport. Do they have like a regulated?
I mean, yeah, they literally have like leagues and stuff. It seems, yeah, which is pretty ridiculous.
So it's a standardized weighted axe.
I would assume so. Who knows?
I thought you knew. You were telling me about it.
I mean, it would definitely throw off. No, I'm just saying. Like, I just recently saw that they started opening up places in like the city. Well, city is like.
Okay.
Like downtown areas and stuff. It was just like a post online somewhere. Probably the Facebooks.
Okay. So you're just referencing something you remember, just that little tidbit.
Yeah. I mean, talking about axe throwing.
Right.
And this would be a great thing to have, like, if you live in the city. To, like, have, like, locally to just practice axe throwing.
For all the people who don't have backyards, but just really want to throw an axe at a target.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of, like, codes that you can't just be throwing axes in your backyard. But who the fuck knows if your neighbors, like, aren't able to view the area you're doing it in, you know, or whatever. Like, that's the only, like, why that's the best option anyway. I would really like to do some, just like set up an archery range. That'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, that would be.
But it would suck if your neighbors are like, yo, stop shooting arrows over there.
You know what we should bring back is lawn darts.
Make me nervous or something.
Have you ever played the original lawn darts?
You mean like, what are those fucking things? They're like Michelangelo.
They're big metal spikes with plastic fins on the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I know it. But they're like,
we used to throw them into hula hoops.
What is that?
We had a hula hoop on each side.
Do you know what, there's a Ninja Turtle that has these, like, sword things that are, like, three-pronged. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
don't know the weapon name.
I forget what they're called.
But anyway, those, like, little, trident swords, are basically, like, what, those fucking lawn darts are at this point. Like, if you really look at them, like, they're just spikes. You're just, like, throwing across with, like, little cups to, like, parachute them down.
Except in that case, the handle is gonna be where the weight is.
Right.
Whereas on a lawn dart, it's the tip of the dart. It's heavier. Yeah.
Right. Well,
so that
you could still have. Yeah, you're basically throwing swords. Like, watch out for this sword.
I wish ballistic knives were legal.
Illegal?
I wish they were legal.
Yeah.
They look really fun.
Definitely in the video games, for sure. Looks like a blow dart, but like an automatic one with like a button on the back.
Right.
It's pretty badass. Yeah, man. Speaking of hatchet throwing, now I'm just thinking back to Call of Duty, and like, that was probably one of my favorite games, just for the fact that they had sticks and stones, and like, you could just like hatchet the shit out of people. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really like melee weapons, especially when they're done right.
Yeah. Have you ever done like a crazy trick shot on one of those things?
Yeah, all the time.
Nice.
My game was Modern Warfare 2. I'm actually excited for the next Call of Duty. They're coming out with Call of Duty World War 2 this fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that gonna have like exosuits and shit in it again?
No, this is
Okay.
world. They're going back to World War II.
Okay.
It's pretty much going to be the
it could
movie.
be a
It's going to be the
interesting
movie
twist.
Saving Private Ryan, just in game
Interesting.
format. Yeah,
That's so.
I've seen
so
the trailer. It looks very, very realistic. They said it's going to be very true to the
Storyline.
actual events.
Yeah.
Not the storyline. It's not
I mean the
Doesn't-
history
right.
storyline.
And they had hatchets back then, so
Oh,
They
I'm
were
sure.
using
I'm sure they're
hatchets in
gonna keep
war.
them. Watch, they have like rocket launchers and ballistic knives and crazy shit like that. Actually, I'm sure they have
Definitely.
all those.
they
at that
they have to
time.
have flamethrowers because that's what they used.
Right. Absolutely.
At least on the.
I mean,
ground.
obviously they had rocket launchers and everything like that too. They had a lot of shit back then, even. Fucking awesome games though. I want to say that Medal of Honor is the first one that really like.
I don't get to play as much
Should.
anymore, but I
But-
used to be super into RPGs.
Yeah.
Not RPGs. First-person shooters. I
Yeah.
like RPGs too. They're thinking about making another Fable game.
Really?
Fable 4.
I hope it's not like 3 in the sense of like just like having to grind stuff.
I don't know. I never played 3. I gave up
Okay.
after 2. I was so disappointed. I never played 3.
Okay. On Fable 3, you have to like grind
Yeah,
pies.
I read
like
the,
making pies or whatever.
I read the plot and stuff.
Like making pies is like a big part of the plot, apparently.
Right, which that's stupid.
Right. You just have to like churn out some cash or something with it. I forget what you get, like the currency.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And I think you have to like do that to like you can get like God mode or something basically. And yeah, I totally forget what the hell I'm talking about in terms of like the game because I haven't played it in so long. But yeah,
Yeah,
those games are pretty fucking amazing. I'm a big fan of the Fable, the initial Fable games.
I wish I had more like initiative into certain video games. I feel like every time I sit down to play for like an hour and a half, I feel guilty about the other like the list of things that I want to do more than games. So like whenever I play, but I would definitely get back into a game if something's really enticing in the future.
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really bought a video game in a long time. Except for fucking World of Warcraft and other Blizzard games. Like I keep trying them out every once in a while. I'm definitely also a fan of Overwatch as a first person shooter. They did a really good job with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks good.
You played it, right?
Yeah, I spent
Okay.
like 8 or so hours.
Nice. That's a good amount of time to get in to like try. I mean, that's some might say that's like nothing, like to even get into the game. Like I actually would be one of them, because it took me like a lot more than 8 hours, maybe like triple that to like get really into it. But yeah. And then next thing you know, you're playing video games outside while you're camping, and then a bear comes and just mauls you, and
You're just on your Nintendo Switch,
and you're right.
and you get like taken away, and the cub, like a bear, one of the bear's cubs come along and grab your game console too.
Well, they would have already crushed it by then. They would like shat on it and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you even survive, you have to like be picking dingleberries out of the disc area. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
dude. It's a crazy time out there right now.
Out in nature.
Nature, video game worlds, virtual reality now.
What do you think? Nature or nurture? What are your thoughts?
I'd say, in terms of what,
Everything.
That's such a broad,
Like,
vague question.
I mean, from a human perspective.
I think there's a big part of both that play their own role in the development of everything that you speak of.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, things that have been created can completely be modified and transformed during their lifetime. No matter what it is.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but how much is it? How much is your experience based on your surroundings and environment?
What do you mean?
How much of the situation that you're in right now?
Mm-hmm.
How much of that is based on the environment in which it occurs in, versus it being something that's taught or something that you did?
You mean like something you naturally just started doing because it like felt right to do?
Yeah. Well, no, like how much will do you enact upon something versus how much
I mean, dude, your environment can play a huge role in like what happens and like your development and stuff like that. It's definitely not like to be shrugged off, but it's it's also mindset has a lot to do with it, and also like if someone's also taking care of you and nurturing, if you will.
Okay.
And it's all totally depends, dude.
I kind of see.
Because like there could be like a kid from the Bronx that's like homeless and whatever else, like, and he gets somehow runs into like some crazy awesome people. And they like help him out and like whatever else, but they're still in the Bronx, or whatever like that they could be. Not saying the Bronx is a terrible area, but there's relatively higher crime rate there.
Yeah. I think that I think we've done a decent job at choosing the age at which people should be held accountable for the things they do.
Yeah.
I think that the actual process for labeling someone as like a criminal has gone out of hand, but I think like everyone deserves the right to get like an education, to be informed on what it takes to be a member of society.
Right. Yeah, I also, that brings me up to another thing that I ran into, like just the concept of like how we're not even taught like any of the laws and stuff, within school. Like that's, the Pledge of Allegiance,
There are some
but
laws,
like you don't know some of your rights.
There are
even.
some laws that are copyrighted, so you
Right.
can't print them out. You can't find and download them.
Interesting.
Because you don't have the rights to.
Well, but you can break them.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You have free will.
Right, but like you can
You can
like,
be persecuted for breaking them.
despite
yes.
not like so
Yes.
lawful, you can't see them, like you don't know about them.
You can ask
then you
about
can be
them. You
persecuted
can ask
about
for
them?
summaries of them.
Interesting. And they're required to give them to you.
No, they.
Like, do they have to give it to you verbally? They're like, we can't print it out.
Sometimes you have to acquire a lawyer
Interesting.
who knows the laws.
Well, how do they know? Was it like
Well, it's their job to know.
they knew by word of mouth?
They knew because
it
they
can't
can
be written down, right?
They can look at the laws.
Yeah.
They are written down somewhere.
These bastards. Interesting.
That's why they get paid the big
But
bucks.
yeah, so like there's plenty of other laws that you have no idea about that are enforced. You generally just know about how you can't really like go out and like harm people or like be in their business or whatever, you know, lawfully, and or just like be an insane person, you know, and just like destroying other people's shit or just being destructful in general.
Yeah, I think everybody should understand what it means to have human rights.
Right. Yeah, you should totally be taught like everything that you need to know basically in life, not to go past the point of no return when you've already broken the law.
Yeah.
It's not fun. This is America. Like your American flag tank top, dude.
Yeah, do you like it?
Yeah, it's pretty spiffy. It's very patriotic of justice.
Some people would say that this shirt's against the flag code.
Yeah.
At least the stars are on the correct side.
Right. Yeah, you gotta make sure that happens before you start printing mass amount of t-shirts too.
I've seen them where they're on the wrong side.
Right.
Everyone should kind of know certain rules.
I mean, you can also just like flip that shirt inside out, like wear it around the other side.
I guess you could.
Yeah. Pretty much the same thing. If only it was reversible though. Even if it wasn't. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world.
There is.
And we need to be prepared by going out in nature, facing
Facing
shit.
it head on, right?
Yeah, facing challenges, overcoming them.
Learn to deal with obstacles.
Exactly. And struggle, because
Uh,
there's nothing productive
Perseverance.
that comes out of being comfortable. And on that note,
Preparation and persistence prevents piss poor performance.
that is it. Don't fucking allow for piss poor performance. Piss poor.
Don't do it.